Yankee Baseball are your Greater New York Pepsi-Cola bottlers, makers of Diet Pepsi, Slice, Mountain Dew, and Pepsi Free. Canon, so advanced it's the world leader in 35mm photography. And by Burger King. This is a Burger King town. We know how burgers should be. Fourth inning, Bill White here along with Billy Martin, and Marty Barrett leads off against Ed Whitson. He has a base hit in the corner. Well, these Red Sox wasting no time at all jumping on Yankee pitching, Billy Martin.
Yeah, they certainly are. First ball hitters.
So Barrett, his second base hit, he's now 2 for 3 in the ball game. He singled and scored the first run. Here it is again.
Ball's in on him, but he got the hit of the bat out there.
Red Sox leading it by a score of 5-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the New York Yankees. We're in the 4th inning. Here's Ed Romero. He has walked and scored and flied to left field. He came up with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's playing because Wade Boggs has some sore ribs.
He's trying to do his job, trying to take a shot to right field, Bill, which is a good baseball. It's a good fastball hitter. He wasn't Milwaukee, but has trouble with the breaking ball. Has decent power for a little guy.
And it's 1 strike on Romero. It's been all Boston so far. They scored 3 in the top of the first. Yankees got their run in the second. Red Sox came back with 2 in the top of the third. And it's a ball and a strike on Romero, who's batting at .214. There's Barrett. He's at second base with a leadoff double.
Looks like he tried to bunt him over. Almost a wild pitch.
McNamara trying to pick up some runs here. And he's going to bunt again. That's wide. 2-1.
Now here's where you like to see the catcher walk out to the pitcher and just say, look, they're trying to bunt him over. Forget about the breaking ball. Let's go the high fastball. So if he does try to bunt the ball, he'll pop it in the air.
Well, they count 2 balls and a strike on Ed Romero. And he gets it in the air. Mattingly with a fine play and foul ground. And Barrett goes back to first base.
And there was that high fastball. Hardest pitch in the world of bunt.
And Don Mattingly is covering a lot of ground. He was already on the grass. Watch this here again.
The first baseman, Bill Buckner.
That man has to go to bunting school. That was a nice play, though. Real nice play.
As soon as he got the ball, looked at second base, but Barrett had scampered back there. Now we'll get Bill Buckner, the first baseman. He's grounded to Randolph at second base, walked, stolen a base, and scored. And that's ball 1 to Buckner.
Well, I'm sure Ed will pitch careful to him with the base open at first base. Although you have Rice coming up, you still can get the double play.
Well, you look at these batting averages of the Red Sox, Billy. They're really not that great, but these guys can put some runs on the board.
They're all doing it together right now. And, you know, it's funny, Bill, when you're winning, everybody contributes. And that's what they're doing right now. Everybody's doing the job.
They're getting good pitching.
Timely hitting.
Catching the ball.
Defense has been good. Certainly not tearing the league up in stolen bases.
Center field. Henderson will not get it. It's over his head. Barrett will score easily. And Buckner will pull up at second base with a double. And the Red Sox now lead 6-1. Base hit number 9 for the Bo Sox.
Left fielder.
Ball's up and out over the plate.
That's where he likes it.
Barrett scoring easily. Buckner a double. There's Pinella watching this game. Breaking ball for a strike on Jim Rice. Rice is 2 for 2. He has scored a run and driven in 2 runs. He now has 45 runs batted in on the year. And he's also hit in 9 straight ball games for the Bo Sox. 2 strikes on Jim Rice. First of 3, the Yankees and the Bo Sox. Red Sox came in 3.5 games ahead of the Yankees, and they're leading the game, this game, by a score of 6-1. Rice now batting .332.
And what the Yankees need right now, Bill, is they got to hold them in these middle innings until they can score some runs or get on that board.
Plus, they've got a tough guy to try to score runs against.
That's correct. And with a big lead like that, he'll he might be bringing them just a little bit harder.
Still 1-2 on Rice. Big crowd here for this opening game. This crowd should approach the, 45, 50?
I'd say close to that.
Didn't give away anything either. It's good baseball, right? Good matchup.
It's nice when you see a crowd, you don't have to give away things.
Good matchup.
Yeah, these are the true fans that are coming out here right now. They love their baseball, and they love their Yankees and the Red Sox.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Rice. Back up the middle. That'll go through. Jim Rice 3 for 3. And Buckner will score. Rice now has 4 runs batted in. And the Red Sox lead 7-1. Nobody getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Yankees are down to 6 runs as Buckner is greeted by his teammates. And the batter now for the Bo Sox is Don Baylor. He's 2 for 2. Single to center field and a looping single to left center. And he scored a run. Paliulo knocks it down and a play at second base.
Nice play.
Jim Rice held up because he thought Pax had caught the ball.
Which is the proper thing to do as a base runner. You know, you don't want to get doubled off at first. He's not going anywhere. He can't go to third base.
Well, it hurts Baylor. He would have gotten a base hit, but Rice had to hold up because he thought Paliulo had come up with the ball and might have doubled him off first base. The Pags alertly went on to second base, and they just nipped Rice.
It's good base running, really.
So there are 2 outs now. Baylor at first, and Dwight Evans is the batter. He's flied to right and struck out. Out of play.
They're taking their cuts up there.
First pitch. Come out hacking, leaving the bench.
First ball hitters, fastball hitters.
Two strikes on Dwight Evans. Romero taking Boggs' place at third is hitting .216. Buckner .230. Baylor .242. Evans .236. Armas .230. And Quinones .221. But overall, as a team, they're batting in the high 260s. Evans down on strikes for the second time. Side is retired. 2 runs for the Red Sox on 3 hits. 1 man left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. Boston 7, the Yankees 1. Youngsters here tonight as guests of Con Edison and the Yankees. Since the Con Edison Yankee baseball program began in 1968, more than 2.2 million youngsters have been provided free admission here to baseball games. Earl Batty, the former big leaguer, is out there answering questions.
And one of my ex-catchers.
Yep.
In Minnesota.
Posting things.
Quite a guy.
Earl coached at Bethune-Cookman College down in Daytona Beach. He coached baseball there for a couple of years.
I didn't know that.
Dave Winfield. And that's out of play. Dave's been up once and bounced to short. Yankees have just 1 run on 3 hits off the hard-throwing right-hander Roger Clemens. He has struck out just 1. And he has not walked the Yankee. And he leads 7-1. He has won 11 straight.
Very overpowering pitcher, isn't he? I mean, he just brings it up. They like to know what the gun's got on him.
And it's moving. It's not a straight fastball. It's moving around a bit.
It does.
2 strikes on Winfield. He's batting .242. A dozen home runs and 45 runs batted in. Winfield will be followed by Mike Easler and then Ken Griffey. Yankees had a chance at Clemens in the second inning. Easler led off with a single, but then Griffey bounced into a double play. Pags and Hasse hit back-to-back doubles, with Hasse getting the run batted in.
There was something we haven't seen. He pulled a string on that ball.
Strikeout number 2 for Clemens.
Which I mean is a string. They say pull the string, it's a changeup.
Had Winfield out front.
Yes, he did.
Well, there's 1 down. Here's Mike Easler. He singled to right field in the second inning. Easler, of course, traded for Baylor. Couple of DHs. Ball 1.
And I think both of them are doing a fine job, really.
Easler batting over 300.
The Yankees needed a left-handed hitter, and they got the left-handed hitter. Boston needed a right-handed hitter, and they got to help both clubs. There's no question about it.
Easler 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Baylor 15 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Baylor's played every game for Boston. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mike Easler.
I get a kick out of when Baylor gets hit with a pitch. He never even rubs, does he?
Well, sometimes he'll turn into it. Baylor so far this year has been hit 14 times.
Isn't that something?
1-2. 2-2 now on Easler. Easler's playing in his 55th game as a Yankee. Don Baylor playing in his 62nd game as a Red Sox. And now Easler wants to change the tempo a bit here.
Well, that's what Baylor wanted all the time. He wanted to DH every day, and he loves to play.
Base hit Easler. He's 2 for 2. He's pumped up. Evans will get the ball in. Mike Easler gets his second base hit. A 1-out single to right.
Ken Griffey.
And here's Ken Griffey. Now Dinkinger is out talking to Clemens, and
something about a sleeve.
Well, McNamara doesn't want him to bother his young pitcher. That's something you would do.
Those are little things, you know,
I
Bill.
think what he's doing, Billy, he wants him to put his gold chain under the uniform.
Probably does.
Might be that.
Well, you don't like to have the umpire intimidate your pitcher either. You want to go out there and find out what's going on so the kid doesn't get nervous out there. And I'm sure Dinkinger told him, hey, I'm just checking his metal, make sure it stays inside.
Here's Griffey, bounced into a double play in the second. And he takes the strike. Red Sox leading 7-1. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Mike Easler at first base. 1 down. Griffey batting .269. 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. 2 of those 7 home runs coming in a pinch hitting role. That might be another 2. This time to Quinones. And a double play. 4-6-3. No runs. 1 hit, nobody left. At the end of 4, the Red Sox 7, Yankees 1. Let's pause for station identification. Tickets for all Yankee home games are on sale at the Yankee Stadium advanced ticket windows 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Or to order tickets by telephone, call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171. Outside New York State, call toll-free 1-800-682-8080. Or visit any tri-state Ticketmaster location, including select Record World and James Way stores. For additional Yankee ticket information, call the Yankee Ticket Office 212-293-6000. Well, Jim Cutt has taken over for Billy Martin as we play the 5th here at Yankee Stadium, and the Red Sox lead 7-1 over the Yankees. And Tony Armas will lead off for the Bo Sox. They're in first place in the East by 3.5, trying to stretch it to 4.5. Armas 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 runs batted in. And Billy Martin mentioned Jim Cutt that the Red Sox seem to be first ball fastball hitters.
They're aggressive. Obviously, they've been in a good groove all year. You know, it's interesting here. The people around their club, broadcasters, front office people, they say, gosh, I can't believe we're where we are. We're all banged up. Pitchers hurt.
2 balls and a strike on Armas.
I think it points up how, you know, the little things in this game. We've seen the Yankees in the last couple of days with really not outright errors, just a couple of defensive miscues and maybe not really as alert.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Armas.
On the other hand, you see the Red Sox, you know, the way they go to the plate and the way they're in the field, they're a hot ball club right now. And Yankees are in a position where you just say, let's stop the bleeding.
Armas, Gedman, and Quinones here for the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Bottom third of the batting order. And that'll be a base hit right center. Extra bases. for Tony Armas. Might be 3. He's going to try for 3. And he makes it into third base with a triple. He's now 3 for 3. Armas has the Red Sox 11th hit in this ball game. We're just in the 5th inning.
Of course, right now, Bill, as you know from being involved in these kind of games, when you're on the top end like the Red Sox, hitters go to the plate free and easy, and they're just swinging that bat a lot more relaxed than if this were a 1-1 ball game. Not that the Red Sox aren't good hitters, but obviously they're having fun right now. The Yankees aren't, but they are.
There's a replay again on the triple.
This game reminds me of when I was a kid, and Rocky Marciano was fighting Joe Walcott. Remember Jersey Joe Walcott? And boy, big build-up for that fight, and couldn't wait for it to come onto the radio, and sat down, got nice and comfortable, and Marciano knocked him out in about 55 seconds. You know,
that was a second fight then, huh?
Yes, but the fans tonight have come, of course, expecting a suspense-filled game, tight ball game.
Rich Gedman takes a strike.
Air went out of their balloon rather quickly.
Well, there are a lot of Boston fans here also. A lot of Boston fans here in this ballpark, coming over from Connecticut, even from Massachusetts. Count 1 ball, 1 strike on Gedman. He has a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He's grounded to short, and he's walked. Yankees keep their infield back. And that will not score a run. Mattingly will tag Gedman, and Armas decides to stay at third base. There's 1 down.
These are the kind of games, if you're on the Yankee bench right now, I mean, you certainly don't give up hope that you can come back from a 7-1 deficit, even though it's Roger Clemens out there. But somehow or other, you got to find a little humor and relax and be able to stay loose on the bench. I remember a game of the Phillies where the Cubs had the Phillies beat 13-1 in the 6th inning. Came back and beat them 15-13. And really on the bench in the 5th and 6th inning, guys were kidding about, well, wouldn't this be a nice game to win? And let's see if we can pinch hit so-and-so. Maybe he'll get a bloop here or pad his average. Just try to find some humor in it.
Count on Quinones is 0-2.
And loosened up, and a hit here and a hit there and an error, and they're back in the ball game. And Yankees are in that position right now.
They're going to need a lot of hits and a lot of errors, though.
And they're going to have to dent Mr. Clemens.
Now the infield's in. Pitch is high, 1-2 on Quinones. Red Sox lead 7-1. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the New York Yankees. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Quinones. Armas at third. Ball almost got away from Hassey. Atlanta leading Cincinnati 1-0. That game in the 5th inning. In the American League, the Tigers are leading Baltimore 1-0. That game also in the 5th down in Baltimore. 3-2 on Quinones.
When the Red Sox are doing this without Boggs, that's got to make them feel pretty good.
Wade Boggs leading the league in hitting. That'll get a run in, and it'll be a base hit. And that might be another triple. And Quinones has triple. And the Red Sox now lead 8-1. Well, sometimes when it rains it pours. Base hit number 12 for the Red Sox.
Well, when you're a competitive, I would call him a high-strung pitcher like Ed Whitson is. There you get a look at the fastball up in the strike zone. When you get in situations like this and you have Whitson's kind of temperament, which is very competitive, he can get the crowd behind him and rise to the occasion. But in this situation, when you begin to get hit, you actually try to throw too hard, and the ball straightens out, and you see the results with what the Red Sox are doing.
Infield in for Marty Barrett, and that's a ball.
The hardest things in the world for a pitcher in a game like this is to tell yourself, you know, I still got to change speeds and pitch to the hitters just like it's a 1-1 ball game.
Well, it's going to be Whitson because nobody is warming up behind him. Valerulo will hold the runner at third, and there are 2 outs. So Barrett bounces out 5-3. Now the Yankee infield will go back, and Ed Romero will bat.
Well, there can be some value in that. As you mentioned, nobody's warming up in the Yankee bullpen, but we all know the Yankee pitching staff, if we could use one word to summarize it this year, it's been disorganized, injury-riddled and disorganized, and Whitson might find some value in an outing like this.
That's foul off third base. Cardinals leading Pittsburgh 4-1 in the 5th. Mets didn't score in the top of the 1st. Montreal batting. A final. Let's see, the White Sox won, so Gene Michael picking up his 2nd win as the skipper. The Cubs won. Gene Michael picking up his 2nd win as a skipper of the Chicago Cubs. Winfield, sides retired, but another run, 2 hits, a man left. Bottom of the 5th coming up. The Red Sox 8, the Yankees 1.
June 28th is Yankee Mitt Day. All youngsters 14 and under will receive a Yankee mitt, compliments of New York City bus service. Last year, the Yankees set a new regular season attendance record on Mitt Day. So don't forget Saturday, June 28th. So far tonight, this is a game the Yankees would like to forget. They're down 8-1 halfway through the ball game against the best pitcher in the American League, Roger Clemens.
Best pitcher in baseball now.
11-0 with a 2.26.
All right, now this youngster's the best pitcher in baseball, record-wise, as we look at Pags, who doubled and scored the Yankee run in the 2nd inning. A bit high, ball 1.
Talked to Joe Sambito before the ball game. They pitched in Houston for several years, has incidentally made a nice comeback just to get back on the active list, similar to Don Ossie with the Baltimore Orioles.
1-1.
Had some very extensive arm surgery, long rehab program. Well, he played with Nolan Ryan, and you never like to make comparisons about pitchers, but he brought up an interesting point about their temperament, Clemens and Ryan.
Out of play, 1-2.
And he said what's impressive about this young pitcher is not just the fact that he's 11-0, but he seems to be handling his success, you know, with ease. He's not caught up in all the hype, and he said he reminds him a lot of Ryan with that kind of down-home Texas low-key attitude.
Bounced out in front of the plate. Clemens is there. 1 away.
Which, of course, tonight was not a fair judge, but going into tonight's ball game, I was thinking about Clemens' brief career, and this probably is as pressure-packed a game as he's ever pitched in his career going into it. And, of course, the Red Sox blew it open early, so it takes a lot of heat off from him, but probably the first time he's really been trying to pitch for a first-place ball club this time of the year.
Ron Hasse out of play. Reminds me a little bit of Ray Cope. And Cope, a Texan. Of course, this kid was born in Dayton, Ohio. Went to the University of Texas, now lives in Texas. But Cope had a good fastball, a good slider, pretty good curveball. And he had some good years for the Red Sox after he bounced around the league. Started with the Phillies. I think he pitched with the Cubs a bit. Ended up with the Boston Red Sox. Ray Cope. Cope not as tall as Clemens.
Probably relied on the slider a little more than Clemens did, too. Right? Not quite the power pitcher.
Right. Good control, but he had a good fastball. 1-2 on Hasse. Hasse doubled in the Yankee run in the 2nd.
I remember back in 1983 when I saw Ralph Houck. He was managing the Red Sox. He said, "This kid's the best pitching prospect I've ever seen." That's a pretty bold statement.
Bouncer to second base, Barrett. And there are 2 outs. The other thing about this kid, Jim Cott, is he's had a couple of years of arm trouble, and he's still pitching well. He's come back from arm trouble. We had him last year. We saw him in a ball game. He came out for about 4 or 5 innings, throwing the ball 90-95. All of a sudden, he lost it. And, of course, that's when he hurt his arm last year.
Well, he had, I think, a strained muscle in the forearm as well as a little shoulder problem, but he's obviously healthy this year.
1 ball, no strikes on Willie Randolph. We're in the 5th inning, and the Bo Sox lead 8-1. 1-1 on Randolph. He's a .289 with 22 runs batted in. Now Detroit and Baltimore tied 1-1 in the 6th inning. On the inside corner, 1-2 on Randolph.
He's got the ability. You know, he's not just a thrower. As you said, he's the best pitcher in the major leagues right now. He has the ability to move that fastball in and out. He's got excellent control.
Out of play down the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Randolph.
And when you talk about control in the big leagues, you don't necessarily mean just base on balls. Control is being able, as we speak of so often, to have command of both sides of the plate. Clemens appears to have it.
Two and 2 on Randolph.
See him keep hitching that shirt up. I'm surprised on a night like tonight he's wearing that heavy sweatshirt. He's got to be about 10 pounds heavier with that on.
There's a score. Red Sox 8, Yankees 1. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Just missed. In 1983, this kid was pitching for the University of Texas.
Pitched him to the national title.
Yep. Randolph thought he had walked. He's called out on strikes. Sides retired. 3rd strikeout for Roger Clemens. 3 up, 3 down with played 5. The Red Sox 8, the Yankees 1.
Way through five innings complete, and the Red Sox lead at 8-1. It's been all the Red Sox hitters and Roger Clemens. Tough night so far for the Yankees, and to lead it off for the Sox in the top of the 6th, Billy Buckner. He's got a walk and a double on the night already, Bill.
All right, Jim.